Shalom, friends, and welcome to Walking the Ancient Path, where we journey back into the language, landscape, and life rhythms of the Scriptures in a lighter, more accessible way, exploring the world of the Bible as its original listeners would have experienced it. Today, we're going to pick up in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 14. Now we exhort you, brothers, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men.
Now we urge you, clan brothers, call to order those who step out of line, encourage the faint of heart, uphold the weak, and be long-spirited with everyone.
We exhort you. In Hebrew thought, exhortation is like a father walking beside a son on the trail, steadying his steps. Warn the unruly like a sheep wandering from the flock, needing the shepherd's staff to bring it back. Comfort the feeble-minded. This depicts someone whose inner man feels diminished and discouraged. To comfort is to help them breathe easier again, like gently blowing on fading embers until they spark back to life. Support the weak. To hold firmly, to cling to a shepherd lifting a lame lamb and carrying it on his shoulders, or warriors bracing a wounded comrade so he does not fall. Be patient toward all. In Hebrew imagery, patience is like a slow burning fire that gives warmth, but does not flare in sudden destruction. It is the steady restraint of strength, stretched out for the sake of another.
Verse 15. See that none render evil for evil to any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men.
See to it that no one repays harm with harm, but always pursue what is good, both within the clan and toward all people.
See that none render evil for evil. Hebrew imagery views revenge as a cycle of a blood feud. To break this cycle is to stop the spiral of vengeance. Torah teaches, "Vengeance is mine," says Yahweh. Deuteronomy 32:35. Imagine a man refusing to return a spear thrown at him, instead laying it down at the tent door. Follow that which is good. Hebrew radaf, to pursue with intensity like a hunter chasing game. Here the prey is tov, goodness, wholeness, life-giving action. Among yourselves and to all men. This expands the reach. The community must embody covenant goodness not only internally but also openly to everyone. Hebrew thought views Israel as a light among nations, as in Isaiah 49:6. Picture a fire kindled in the center of the camp, warming those inside but also giving light to travelers passing by in the night.
Verse 16. Rejoice evermore.
Let your joy spring up without ceasing.
Rejoice, but this is not superficial happiness but joy rooted in covenant. In Hebrew imagery, joy is like a well bubbling up from the earth or a shepherd joyfully greeting safe lambs. Evermore, without interruption through all seasons. In Hebrew thought, joy is not connected to circumstances but to Yahweh's presence. Even in exile, his people were called to sing, Psalm 137. Joy in Hebrew life was often expressed with bodily movement, dancing, singing, shouting. To rejoice always is to keep the fire of praise burning like a lamp kept lit through the night, never extinguished.
Verse 17. Pray without ceasing.
Keep lifting your voice to Elohim, without letting the thread be cut.
Pray in Hebrew tradition, prayer is tefillah. Not just asking for things, but connecting oneself to a covenant through spoken words, songs, and cries. Without ceasing, literally without interruption, like the smoke from an altar that never stops rising, or a shepherd's flute that keeps sounding through the night to soothe the flock. Prayer is a cord connecting earth to heaven. To pray constantly is to keep the cord unbroken, tugging steadily on the relationship. Each breath can become a prayer as natural as walking or drawing water.
Verse 18. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you.
In all things give forth thanksgiving, for this is the desire of Yahweh for you in Messiah Yeshua.
In everything, not selective gratitude, but a posture that welcomes both peaceful pastures and stormy valleys. Hebrew thought views all seasons, sowing, harvest, drought, rain, as under Yahweh's control. Imagine a farmer blessing Yahweh both when rain comes and when he needs to dig deep for water. Give thanks. Hebrew yada means to stretch out the hand and acknowledge. Thanksgiving isn't silent, it's spoken and lifted like an offering. It is the voice of covenant trust. This is the will of God, Yahweh's ratzon, desire, delight. His will is not a cold decree, but his heart's longing for his people to walk in gratitude. In Christ Jesus concerning you, thanksgiving flows from living connected to the Messiah. In Hebrew imagery, as long as you are linked to his tent, thanksgiving is the air you breathe because all things are filtered through his covering.
Verse 19. Quench not the Spirit.
Do not snuff out the flame of the Spirit's fire.
Quench Hebrew imagery often portrays the Ruach as fire, breath, or wind. To quench is to choke or smother it. Imagine a traveler pouring dirt on a campfire until no embers glow. The Spirit, Ruach Elohim, the living breath, wind, and fire of Yahweh. The Ruach is like the wind filling a sail, the breath that gives life, or fire that spreads warmth and light. Just as the menorah in the tabernacle had to be trimmed and continually fed with oil to keep its light burning in Exodus 27:20 through 21, so the people of the covenant must not resist or neglect the Ruach's flame. To quench is to choke its movement, stifle its breath, or smother the fire's gifts. So let the fire burn, let the wind blow, let the breath fill the tent. Do not shut the flap against it.
Verse 20. Despise not prophesyings.
Do not treat the prophetic utterances with contempt.
Despise not, in Hebrew thought, to despise means to trample underfoot. The prophets frequently warned against hardening the neck and turning away from Yahweh's word. Imagine someone casting aside the clan father's staff as if it were a broken stick. Prophesyings. In Hebrew, nevuah, prophecy, is Ruach-breathed speech, words carried on the wind of Elohim. It is not only a pointing toward future days, but a forth-telling of Yahweh's present perspective. Such words come as fiery breath, sometimes inconvenient, often unsettling, yet always aimed at turning the people back to covenant faithfulness. Hebrew imagery, the prophetic word is like fire in the bones, Jeremiah 20 verse 9, or like a hammer that shatters rock, Jeremiah 23 verse 29. To despise it is to ignore the flame meant to purify, or the hammer meant to break chains, Paul reminds them. Do not treat with scorn the prophetic voice rising within the clan's gathering. The Ruach still breathes through human mouths, and that breath must not be brushed aside.
Verse 21. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good.
Test everything. Grip tightly what is good.
Prove all things, from the Hebrew words bachan, to assay like testing metal in fire, or nasa, to test, to prove by trial. The idea is not suspicion but discernment, distinguishing true from false, wheat from chaff. Imagine a smith placing silver in the furnace, watching until the dross rises and the pure shines. Hold fast. In Hebrew imagery, this is like grasping the staff that steadies you on a steep trail or binding a cord tightly around a tent pole so it does not shake in the storm. That which is good, Hebrew tov, goodness, wholeness, life-giving. Good is not just pleasant, it is something that produces life and blessing, aligning with the Creator's design. Imagine keeping the ripened grain and casting away the straw, holding to the clean water and pouring out the muddied.
We'll pause here and continue in our next chat.
If you listeners have areas of interest you'd like to explore further, questions, or comments, please don't hesitate to let us know.